In December 2024, Japan's economy stands at $4.1 trillion. India is at $3.7 trillion. Close enough and on the brink of surpassing it. Now, the Western media, specializing in financial news, have been reporting on this possibility, as has been estimated by the International Monetary Fund. Why is the Western media suddenly reporting in positive about India? Is this a realization of India's stability, of its consistency over the past few years? Or is it possibly because India's rise could be less problematic to the world compared to China? Hello and welcome. I'm Pooja Shali and you're watching Homeland on India Today. In September 2024 itself, India officially overtook Japan to become the third most powerful country in Asia. This was according to the latest Asia Power Index. It's a ranking that measures the influence and capabilities of nations across the continent. This significant shift highlights India's growing influence on the global stage and its potential to rise as a major global superpower also in the next few years. This year itself, in the month of May, member of the Economic Advisory Committee to the Prime Minister, Sanjeev Sanyal, said that India is also on the track to surpass Japan and could become the fourth largest economy. Now, he said it could happen by early next fiscal year. Even according to Japanese media, quoting experts there, India's projected rise is being mentioned about. Now, the IMF sees the switch happening, possibly in 2025. S&P Global Ratings is looking at 2030 for the two countries to swap these places. Now, the IMF predicts India's nominal GDP is projected to hit $4.39 trillion by 2025, and that then could surpass Japan itself. So what could be the reasons behind this possible change? Economists point out that Japan has been consistently grappling with recurring recessions and decades-long deflation. There is an aging population in Japan and a declining birth rate. As per the World Economic Forum, as many as 12 million Japanese people may disappear from the country's workforce by 2040. That's a fall of about 20%. India, in comparison, has brought in the digital transaction revolution. Many other countries are still resistant to it. Remember that ahead of Japan is Germany, the third largest economy in the world presently. Germany stands at about $4.7 trillion economy. But the German economy also has been stagnant and is not growing at an exponential level. So if India's growth trajectory continues to keep up with stability, Germany would be our static target to take over. Fingers crossed on that. All the signs are telling us that India is on the right track. The government aims for India's GDP to reach $5 trillion economy by the year 2028 at least. There are several factors here, but one noticeable that I could see was geopolitical tensions globally. Other nations have either created it or jumped into it, including the United States of America and China, top two economies of the world. Some international companies are shifting away from China, therefore, looking also at India as a better venue, for example, in manufacturing sector. Trump's threat of imposing 60% tariff on all imports from China has got the investors and companies worried. So a rising price, political rivalry is where India instead is being considered by many. India's influence in diplomacy, a certain level of global and regional security in the last decade shows it can also become an economic force to look at. Plus, also because India, as a thriving democracy and a friendly ally, is seen as a nation easier to do business with. China remains a concern because remember that there was a decade of China shock, as it was called. In 2010, the dragon overtook Japan in 2010 to become the world's second largest economy. Japan had held this title for 40 years previously. China went on to become the world's largest manufacturer. $3 trillion in foreign exchange reserves, became a major buyer of commodities. But now, even for China, there is a reported stagnation, and there has been a projection of negative growth as well. But let's be honest here, India may not do a shock value like China did, but there will be a slow and steady rise. According to Canalys, a market research firm, it says that Apple will produce more than a fifth of its iPhones in India, possibly by the end of 2025. India is an emerging market, not saturated. Hence comes in the growth possibility. India's investment in infrastructure has been immense in the last 1 decade. But also, let's be very clear here. It's not a competition between India and Japan. India and Japan remain allies and friends. We share historical, cultural ties, especially in connect to Buddhism and as ancient civilizations. So this episode is not against Japan. We wish their people all the very best. But this is to remind India's critics that eventually it looks like they've had to accept that a country as large and diverse as India has been, a young democratic nation, a most populated country also now in the world, and in many ways has made impossible possible. It has done better than expected to keep itself together, safe and sound. And some may not be too happy to see India's rise on the economic ladder right now. Thank you for watching.